Video. We are trading the Webull Top Gainers screener, and I have no idea what's going to happen this morning. I just know that there's a 100% chance I am going to stick to my plan. When I say I have no idea what's happening, that's not entirely true because I have statistics that tell me exactly the probability of each outcome so far after 21 trades. So let me just show you that really quick and then we'll get to the trading day. Actually, I can't scroll right now on this because I have the XR calculator open. So we'll have to look at those at the end when I can close the calculator. But anyway, there is a 30% chance that this is a one and done day. There's also a 30% chance that this becomes a max loss day. So let's get to getting the ticker symbols on the chart here. And I'll try to talk you through some things as we go, but right now we just have to get these ticker symbols on the chart page so that we don't miss any trades. These are some old lines, so let's get rid of those. I put an alert on V just because it looks like it could possibly trigger a trade. That way we don't miss it. Wow, just like that. Okay, so V is the one for today. Just waiting for my entry to be triggered. Lots of volatility here, that's for sure. Now, if this thing breaks over that 645 level, we have to get in on this candle. Hi, this candle is 634 right now. If we see 635 on the next candle, then we have to get in. There it is, and now I am in, and we're going to put our stop loss in the appropriate position. The low is 578. Go to 574. And now we're going to calculate our profit target. $838. All right, so this trade is all done. Now all we have to do is watch it play out. With this trading plan, this Top Gainers trading plan, I can take up to 3 trades per day. This is trade number 1. So if this trade fails, it looks like this thing went into a halt. And now we just have to wait. That's just the way it goes. So the halting thing, if you're brand new to trading, I believe you should look this up. Google it, like what triggers a trading halt. But I believe it's a move greater than 10% in a matter of 1 minute or something like that. I'm not sure. Let me actually Google it right now while we're waiting, since one of the things that I like to do in these videos is just let the video run while I'm in the trade. That way you see, nothing, there's no funny business or anything like that. You see exactly what happens as it's happening. So let's see here. So it looks like there's 3 different levels of halts, and this is based off the S&P 500. So let's see about individual stocks. I'm not going to pull it up on my desktop that you're looking at right now because I want you guys to be able to see this. What I do know is that most halts resume in 5 minutes. So basically we have 5 minutes. If you don't want to sit here and wait, you could of course just fast forward the video. But right now I'm just going to look up the circuit breaker halt. Investopedia is a great resource, by the way. So this is interesting because what's on Investopedia, it's saying there's also 3 levels of circuit breakers. And let's see here. Okay, if you go to Investopedia and you search circuit breaker halt, there is a table that shows you exactly. I guess let's just do that right here. Let's do it right now and look at that. We have the time, might as well. Okay, this is actually a different page of Investopedia than I was looking at. Okay, right here is where it talks about circuit breaker halts for individual stocks, and it says trading is halted for 5 minutes after sudden moves of more than 5%. So it's more than 5% and lasting more than 15 seconds. And of course, either direction. And that's from the average price for the prior 5 minutes. So was this thing even trading for 5 minutes? I guess it was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I guess they take the average price of these 5 candles, and then if this thing increases by more than 5% of that average, then they have to halt it, and it's 4 or 5 minutes usually. I have seen some other strange things happen. Okay, now here we go. There's where the 10% came from. For other stocks priced above $3, the halt is for a 10% move. So that's what happened in this case because this is above a $3 stock. Well, those priced between 75 cents and $3 are halted. Sudden gain or loss of 20% or more. So that explains a lot because sometimes I have seen stocks move more than 10% and they're not getting halted, moving 10% in a short amount of time. So this is a great page to study if you're not sure about trading halts. So Investopedia, and then search trading halts, and then that will, and it's been updated as of July 7th, so that should be accurate information because they can change things. So now we're out of the halt, so good timing. Halts are kind of strange because when you come out of a halt, pretty much anything can happen. A lot of times people get scared and they sell off and these things flush down hard, and that could happen here. We may get stopped out, or things could just rally right back up since that halt happened so quickly. So we'll see what happens. There's no reason to try to predict it or get scared or anything like that. We know based off of our statistics the probability of everything kind of going in our favor. So the probability of this trade working out is only about 20% so far. Out of 21 trades, my first entry works 20% of the time. So there's an 80% chance that this trade fails. And I know that based off the statistics. Those statistics are not that meaningful yet because there is only 21 trades. But once we get to 100 trades, that number will be much more accurate. And I expect it to go higher. I expect that first entry to work out a little bit more often, but not that often. I expect it to settle around 25%. So we're really close to, and I don't just pull that number out of what I sit on. I have tons of data from previous trading plans where I got those results off the first entry after 100 trades. So anyway, let's see what this thing does. Let me just double check that I'm not muted here. No, looks good. We're good. So now that we have a chance to talk, let me just tell you a little bit about this plan. The whole concept behind this top gainers plan is to kind of get in and out of the market quickly. So meaning that we're only trading for the first few minutes of the day, relatively, maybe a half hour at the most. And occasionally that's not going to work out. Occasionally we're going to be, stuck in a trade for a long time or something like that. But I don't think that's happened so far. The beauty of the top gainers list is that it generally has very volatile stocks on it. And that's a good thing in our case because we want to take advantage of these moves pretty quickly. One thing I'm going to do is just double check all of my entries in the XR calculator to make sure we have the correct profit target. So we got the 640 entry. The entry we wanted was for the break of this candle. It was 634, so we got a little slippage on the way up, but you guys saw how crazy this thing was moving. That's because everybody was buying at that level. So we have to expect that. We put our stop loss at 574. So 640 and 574, and we are trading a 3R profit target. That's what that 3 is. And I have a video coming out tomorrow explaining the whole R thing. What does R mean and how do you use it, why you should use it. So definitely check that out. And I made this calculator a while back just so that I don't have to think too hard while I'm in the trade, because if you've ever been in a trade, especially something like this, you know that as soon as you enter that trade, your mind kind of scrambles, and the probability of you making a math error is very high in that moment. So I didn't really want to add that stress to my trading. So I made this calculator, and I could try different profit targets out, and this is very helpful, at the end of the day, because I'm also tracking other profit targets. We're tracking the 2R profit target, obviously the 3R, that's what we're trading, 4, 5, all the way up to 10. So I can hit this number here with a 4, and then there we go. Now I know what the 4R profit target is, and I can track to see if this thing actually goes there or not. So we'll go back to the 3R for now. And like, for example, here's the 10R, $13. And 2R, which you might be interested in, is 772. It hasn't even hit 2R yet. and 1R 706. And the reason why we don't trade 1R or even 2R is because the win rate has to be extremely high with those reward factors for you to be profitable. And these stocks are so volatile, I just don't think that's possible. I think you're going to get shaken out of a lot of trades, and that's what we've seen so far. Let's see. I don't think I can scroll to my statistics here. Maybe I can zoom out a little bit and read them. Nope, I can't. So that's the thing with Excel. When you have multiple worksheets open, then one of them works and one of them doesn't. I guess I just have to go back to, yeah. So you can't even minimize that screen. I just have to go to another window. But I mean, I don't really need that during the trading day. I just have that up to show you guys. So a lot of times when these stocks, again, when I say a lot of times, I don't have any real data statistics for what I'm about to say, and I think that's an important thing to bring up, because a lot of times, again, no, I don't have actual percentages, but when you watch other YouTube traders, they'll just throw out some random number, and where does that number come from? It comes from that thing they're sitting on. They don't actually know. They haven't tracked it. They don't have any data. So I try not to tell you things without having the data and the statistics to back it up. Like I told you, I have the data so far from this trading plan, and it tells us out of 21 trades that this trade has a 20% chance of working out. I know that based off of my statistics, based off of my data. It's not just something I made up. What I don't have the data for is how often a stock that goes into a halt on the way up goes higher than that halt, and that is something that would be interesting to track, because what I know from experience is it generally doesn't go back up over that halt again. So that means that that goes into that 80% probability of us losing this trade. One of the, I guess, the conditions that causes these trades to lose. But anyway, this is the first one that we've traded that's gone into a halt, I believe, out of all of the top gainers trades. So if this thing just kind of starts trading sideways for a while, what I generally do is just mute the mic and let the trade play out. And you guys could just kind of fast forward through it if you don't want to watch every minute. I don't expect you to do that, but I just like to leave the video rolling because I want there to be total transparency. I want you to see everything that's happening and know that I'm not doing anything in the background. So thing is still moving pretty good, so I'm just watching it here, because I mean this thing could flush at any moment. Just like the way it moved up so quickly, it could definitely come down very hard at any moment, and if it does, we may have to get ready to take another trade. So that's kind of why I'm waiting. So it's showing some strength again. We might get another pop to the upside here. But, I don't try to predict or judge the trades once I'm into them. We just let the trades play out. That's really the secret to this trading plan and to my trading style, is trade your discipline and not thinking your way through the trade. All the thinking is done before the trade when I write the plan, and it's based off of previous data, not just experience, not just ideas or what someone else said or out of a book or anything like that. It's based off of previous data, and that's how we derive all of these plans. And then we test the plans, forward test the plans. That's what we're doing right now. This is trade number 22 of the forward testing of this plan. And so far it is profitable. At the end of the video, we will go over all of the statistics and I'll show you just how profitable it is. Today is Friday, and I'll probably also make a kind of a recap video of where we are right now in the trading plan. I don't really think it's that useful to look at your results week by week or even month by month. What's useful is looking at 100 trade sample sizes. That's all that matters. The stock market, or really your trading plan, doesn't really care about August or July or June or this week or next week or last week. It just looks at all the trades overall. So that's why, I guess I'm getting off on a rant here because I'm just letting the video roll, but hopefully you get the idea. It's in statistics, everything is about 100 sample size or more to be meaningful. If you have a test and you want to see what are the results if I execute this test, what are the successful results compared to the unsuccessful results, if you just test it 5 times or 10 times, those results are not going to be accurate. If there's only 2 outcomes, right, like a win or lose scenario, the results are not going to be accurate after 5 or 10 trials. You really need to take 100 trials or more. And then the interesting thing with a win or lose type of a test, if you go from 100 to 1,000, the outcome doesn't really change much. Let's say that you tested your experiment and it was win or lose outcome, and after 100 trials you said, okay, well, we found out that this thing wins 35% of the time and loses 65% of the time. Now maybe you're new to statistics and you don't really believe that 100 trials is enough, even when there's only 2 possible outcomes, and you say, well, let me continue to test it, and you take it to 1,000. You might find instead of a 65% win that it's 64.5 or 64.7 or maybe 65.2 or something like that. That's really going to be the only difference in a binary outcome where it's just one or the other thing can happen. When you take the same test and test it for 1,000 times versus 100 times. So hopefully that's meaningful to you. I have a lot of time here. I'm trying to kind of fill the video up, but I think right now I'm going to pause and let the trade play out. And what I do when I do that is I take my phone with me. If I walk away to go make coffee or whatever, I have my phone with me, and if I hear the alert that the stock either hit the stop loss or the profit target, then I come back. Obviously, if it hit the stop loss, I come back in quickly to get ready to take the next trade. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to mute this, and we'll just let the trade play out. There definitely is a possibility with something like this that the price could continue sideways throughout the day and not hit either of these orders, the stop loss or the profit target. In that scenario, we'll just close out the trade at the end of the day for whatever it is. But for right now, let's mute. We'll give this thing at least till 10:30 to hit one or the other of these orders. And of course, if we get stopped out, I have to take the next 2 entries. That's all part of the trading plan. So I'm going to mute for now and just let you guys watch this thing play out. Of course, you can just fast forward if you don't want to watch in real time. All right, and just like that, a one and done day. It took a while, but we got there. And you might be asking yourself, how the heck did this guy know that that was going to happen? And the answer to that is I had absolutely no idea. All I have are my statistics. And in fact, my statistics so far on this trading plan tell me that that only had a 20% chance of working out. And I mean, look at that. What was my profit target? 838 or 839? 838. It went to 839, and then look at this flush. It almost looks like something written or that I pre-recorded or something like that. I mean, but again, you know, I'm not patting myself on the back here. The only reason that, boy, I hate to kind of say this, but the only reason this was possible is just because I stuck to my trading plan. That part I don't hate to say. I just don't want to make it seem like that if you stick to your trading plan, if you follow this trading plan, that this is going to happen all the time. Definitely not. Definitely not the case. In fact, you're going to lose more trades than you win. It's as simple as that. Today made it look easy in a way. I mean, I think if you watched through this video live without fast forwarding and you imagine yourself in the trade, you'd have an extremely hard time holding your position, your full position through this trade. You'd want to move your stop up. You'd want to move your profit target down. That is the thing that kills accounts. The so-called, taking profits early, don't get greedy, secure your profits. All of that stuff is super dangerous. It just doesn't work in the long run. And I know that. I've already learned that. I've already collected the data on all of that. I've already tried all that years ago. And what I do know is that the 3R profit target works, and it's worked in other plans, and so far it's working in this plan, and that's what we're going with. That's what we're sticking with. So anyway, that's VEEE for you, and hopefully this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. I really appreciate any comment, even if it's just say hello. I really enjoy interacting with you guys. These videos, making these videos are kind of lonely, and doing this trading is kind of lonely, but I do it. I'm not gonna lie, definitely do it for me. The journaling and all this stuff is the whole reason I started this YouTube channel back in the day. The main reasons were to show people how to use Webull. There was not a lot of information about that. To journal my own trades so that I could look back and see, what works, what doesn't, whatever, or at least just have a record. And then definitely I also felt the urge to try to help people because I see there's so much craziness out there in the YouTube trading community, people trying to tell you how easy this is and how much money you can make from it. And all you have to do, is this one thing and you'll be fine and whatever. And it's just not like that. And my results show that. Today was definitely the exception to the rule, having what is a high risk trade work out almost exactly by design of my trading plan. This is the exception to the rule by far. So make sure you keep that in mind. But just realize that I would not have been able to execute this trade this way without trader discipline. That is really the key to everything. And occasionally that trader discipline is going to allow you to take advantage of these, maybe what is really a lucky opportunity, a lucky trade. And how are you going to be able to take advantage of a lucky trade if you don't have trader discipline? Now, as I'm talking, this thing might regain strength and it might rip up to $10, $12. And you look back on this and you say, wow, this guy thinks he's so hot. He got 838 out of this thing and it went up to 12, 15, 20, 25. Who knows what? These things can go crazy. I'm not interested in that. All I'm interested in is following my plan 100% of the time. And that's what we did today. So it's a successful trade no matter what happens. Even if this thing goes, to $50 today, we're good. And we're tracking all of our results on the spreadsheet. I'm going to make a video after this going over all of the trades so far and where we're at this moment. Let's look at the account before we stop the video because I know everybody wants to see that. I did not set it for today's date, so let me just do that really quickly and we'll see how much we made on that trade. Today is August 12th. So almost $30 on that one single trade. Definitely our biggest trade yet with this trading plan. With that comes the risk. Our risk was 1/3 of that, so almost $10. But even if we lost that first trade, it would not have, wiped out all the gains of our account. We were up about $25 before that trade, and that's only after 21 trades. So it doesn't sound like much, but it's only 21 trades. So that's what we can expect. We're only trading with $100 per trade here. So this was almost a 30% return on our investment. Actually, I think it was more than that because I calculated it and it was $96 that went into that trade. And all of that is calculated for me automatically. I have my hotkeys set to essentially use 10% of my account. I have it set to 11% because I always have a percentage of my account tied up in SPXL trades or orders, and that's why the buying power is lower than the total account value. So to make it actually take about 10% of my total account, I have to set it to 11%. So that's just some details there. If there's anything that I missed or that you'd like me to go over in more detail, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button if this was helpful to you. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And other than that, I just like to always send the message out there that you need to go into every single trade with a plan. Stick to that plan no matter what. Always take your stop losses, honor your profit target, and in the long run, you should be green. Take care.